Hello and welcome to the Workouts for Older Men podcast. I am Skip LaCour. I'm so glad that you are here joining me on this health and fitness journey, building more muscle, losing more body fat, doing it effectively and efficiently, less confusion, less frustration, less overwhelm, right? Getting it done because we feel certain that what we do is going to pay off. And when we have that certainty, still got to do it, still got to follow through. It's a lot easier to do it with that sense of certainty. Thank you so much for joining me for this podcast. Thank you for comments, your likes, your shares. Make sure you visit the skiplacour.com website. Make sure you're on all of my social media platforms. I'm on a roll, filming a little bit of my workouts every single day on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, The Reel. So make sure you're on all of my social media platforms. You may be a podcast guy, but get the total experience. I want to help take you to the next level physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, whatever this workout means. I want to help you get more out of it. In this Workouts for Older Men podcast, I want to talk about maximizing your gains, mastering mind-muscle connection for older men. Mastering mind-muscle connection. I want to talk about in this podcast and a lot more. Mind-muscle connection, what exactly is that? You hear that a lot on the internet. If you're rather new, even though you may be a little bit older, the process, those terms get thrown out. Probably skip right by it. You're not at that level yet. If you've been doing this for a while and you've been following all the social media influencers, the young ones, old ones, and everybody in between, you hear that a lot, mind-muscle connection. What does that actually mean? Is there one set definition? See, I think it means different things to different people. With this workout thing, there isn't any black and white scientific approach or definitions in some big manual. So everybody has a different variation of what it means. So let me tell you what it means to me, describing it, how you can feel it, the process of developing more mind-muscle connection, and how that's going to affect your building muscle, losing body fat, being healthy, this whole fitness process. All right, so mind-muscle connection basically means that, we're working a certain body part. Let's just say it's chest, all right? And we're doing incline dumbbell bench presses, whatever it is, whatever your favorite exercise, whether it's a dumbbell, it's a barbell, whether it's a machine, whether you're doing it at home in a gym, whatever it is, you're working your chest, right? There are a lot of ways to stimulate the muscle with weights, all right? But we want to do the exercise. Well, we put it up, we put it down, we put it up, we put it down, all right? If we're just concentrating, or too much of our mindset is just worrying about lifting the weight because it's heavy, and then putting it down and lifting up again, without consciously focusing on the target muscle group, the chest, right? We can incorporate all kinds of movements and muscle groups and body parts to help us go from point A to point B, right? A little back, a little bit of arms, maybe a little legs to push us up, whatever it is. All right, if we're just worrying about pushing the weight from point A to B because incline dumbbell bench presses are supposed to build muscle on your chest, let's say, well, we're not going to get the full effect. Look, let me just say this too. Men make too much of this mind-muscle connection. It's this mystical place of utopia that you feel or don't feel. Black or white, you feel or you don't feel when it comes to your workouts. That's not true. All right, you're going to feel the targeted muscle group, but it's taking that to higher and higher levels. So if you know what you're doing, you know what mind-muscle connection is, you think about it, you perfect it, you go on a journey. All right, there's many different shades. Scale from 1 to 10, you can be a 10. You can work that up, or so you think, until you're doing it longer with this type of focus, and you realize, wow, there's a higher level, and I just reached it. Or you're not even conscious of it. You don't even think about, you hear about form, you're lifting the weight, how much weight, reps, what's routine, how many times should I train it? You're so confused. You're not thinking about a detail like actually hitting the targeted muscle group. You're kind of thinking about it. So, it could be 5 out of 10, which isn't bad, all right? These are the next level distinctions to help you get more out of it. When you do these things, it's just as much time. It's just focusing, right? So it's really working that targeted muscle group for the ultimate stimulation. All right, 100%, 10 out of 10 goes to the chest, or as much as possible, not the arms, the back, not the legs, or whatever you recruit. So it's using the targeted muscle group. It's not a performance. It's not like shooting a basketball. Did I make it or not? I could be sloppy. I could use my left hand. I could use my right hand. Whatever it takes to get the ball in the basket. Whatever it takes, football, to get the ball over the goal line. Jump, run, roll, whatever, right? This isn't a sport where we're doing whatever it takes to get it to be. We're doing this to work our muscles, right? Hit the targeted muscle group of this particular exercise, right? It's not lifting at all costs. It isn't like if I lift the most weight or do the most reps, I win. No, it's stimulating the targeted muscle group. And again, that is what mind-muscle connection is. I'll tell you, what I do for mind-muscle connection, the first number one thing you need to make sure that you do is that you appreciate, you respect the need for mind-muscle connection. Is it important? Are you conscious of it? Wouldn't be surprised if some men who look pretty good in the gym, that are pretty consistent and rather new, that think, I never really thought about that. I like my what I'm producing with my workouts, but I just was unconsciously competent. Maybe I'm hitting the targeted muscle group. Maybe I'm not. I got to think about it more. So one, it's being conscious that that's what you're trying to do, not just go from point A to point B. Number two is actually feeling it. How do you move? A little tweak here, moving the wrist here, turning the wrist slightly. The angle, of your elbow I talked about with chest, all right? It could be a lot of things. Your head up, standing upright rather than bent over. The amount of weight you use, the amount of weight you don't, there's all these factors to determine if you're hitting it in that target muscle group. And then how do I not assume that I'm doing it, but how can I take it to higher and higher levels? Know that there's always at higher levels, even if you're doing it well, even if what you're doing is working, right? So be ready to go on that journey now that you know there's a journey to go higher and higher, even if what you're doing is working, right? Making a game out of it, get to higher and higher levels. That's number two. But so what I do is, and I'm conditioned to do this over the years, is so like if I'm walking up to the dumbbell rack, and just say I'm doing alternated dumbbell curls, I'm thinking about it. What I do is like I'll mentally just think of that bicep, right, itself, and I'll visualize it glowing red. Okay, you see these graphics and exercise videos or whatever, but I just feel the blood pumping. I localize my attention to the biceps. All right, I think about that for a split second. I'm conditioned at this point, and then I do the exercise, thinking about it every single rep, fighting the weight, challenging myself, but thinking about, am I hitting the biceps? Am I hitting the glowing muscle, right? And then when I set it down, I just take a split second and give myself an evaluation, right? You can go 1 to 10, or just think about it. Did I do it? All right, so you can make a correction on the next one, or validate and reinforce what you did, right? Just consciously thinking about it. See, the mind is powerful. You have more control over your body than you may think, right? If I were to tell you right now, I want you to close your eyes and focus on feeling the tip of your index finger of your right hand. The tip of your index finger of your right hand. Feel it, feel it, feel it. Feel the tip, just the tip of your right hand index finger, the tip. Can you feel it? How about I've said your left ear, the tip of your left ear? Can you feel the tip of your left ear? If you're really focused, if you really concentrate, can you feel maybe the hair on top or a little blood flowing? Now, this may take practice. Some men get that right away. Yeah, I can feel it. I can direct my focus to that specific part of the index of my right finger or the tip of my left ear. Now you're in the game. Now you know what you're shooting for, right? You do have more control. A better journey in the process, right? Better stimulation. Make sure, even safety, right? When you really focus on the muscle group and not just moving from point A to point B, right? So those are some things to think about when you want to go to the next level. Get more of what you do. Mind-muscle connection. Then remember, it's a journey. It's not an on and off switch. Don't overcomplicate it. Don't get frustrated. I got to do that. I'm not doing it. I don't think I'm doing it. We all can take it to the next level. Right, but you are getting stimulation, even if you haven't mastered mind-muscle connection yet. So that's going to do it for this Workouts for Old Men podcast. Reach out to me. Reach out to me if you want one-on-one coaching. I'll teach you all these things to you, meet you where you are. We'll go on a journey, make you accountable, send me pictures every day, text me, develop a relationship, coach you, guide you. I'll shave off this trial and error in my 35 years. Not of just doing it, but guiding men just like you. Not bodybuilders, not fitness influencers, not people who are crazy passionate, but you with a busy, productive life. How do you do the least amount of work and get the maximum benefit from your health, your fitness, muscle gains, fat loss, knowing what to do? Not because you're lazy, because you got to be efficient, because you got a lot more things going on in your body. I respect that. I know that. All right, so let's take on the day with a sense of urgency. We have to when we're a little bit older. We've got more time behind us than we do in front of us. Have a great day.